JHK here for Fight Night Picks, and joining me right now is PFL heavyweight contender Muhammad Usman. Mo, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me on the show.
No doubt, no doubt, man. You competed once in 2020. You know, it was a year of obstacles for a lot of people, also a year of development for many. How did you take advantage of the time, and in what aspects did you elevate yourself?
As a fighter, I just wanted to be complete. So avenues where I needed help on, as in my jiu-jitsu, my grappling, I tightened up these areas preparing for these guys in the PFL tournament, in the PFL season. I mean, I just, just getting ready for these guys and just, because striking, aggression, I have all that. So I wanted to just tighten up those areas that I knew I could get better at. So when we get in the cage, I don't have no missteps.
So a lot of uncomfortable positions you've been in throughout the year.
Yes. Yes, there is. I put myself in those positions that you don't like to be in, but you need to be in to be able to grow and get better just in the aspect of martial arts. I've just really just gotten closer and closer into just the martial arts aspect of fighting and not just being a football player slash fighter. Now I am a martial artist. And it's art. And it's when it's art, everything just flows.
Yeah, you started off like you said, football player, fighter, and then the martial arts aspect comes in. The mindset, is it different or do you just make little adjustments?
I made adjustments. At the end of the day, the mindset I have for football is the same mindset that I have for fighting, and which is to be the best. Football, we didn't just go through the motion. I wanted to be the best in anything that I did in football. If it was drilling, training, everything. So I brought the same intensity and the same focus to fighting, and I just tightened up those areas that you have to tighten up in order to be successful in the cage.
All right. So, because a lot of people, when they think of martial arts, they think of like Karate Kid, those types of movies, right? Did you ever
Yeah.
have those Karate Kid moments?
When I first started MMA, I had a couple, but then and then you realize, nah, that's not what we're doing here. This is real. This is you gotta tighten up a lot of areas.
For sure.
So yeah, right now I'm just really excited. I just completely made a whole transformation. I'm excited to see what martial artist shows up in the cage for me on next Thursday because I've just lost about 30 pounds. I've made so many drastic changes to my body, to just everything. I'm very, very excited.
I watched a video, I believe, of you making adjustments in your diet. You're eating like 2,000 something calories a day. What were you eating
Yes.
before then?
I was eating, but before you wasn't really paying attention to your diet as much as now. Now I'm completely dialed in for my diet, my nutrition, my supplements, everything that I'm doing. And I got that from actually Rose and Pat Barry because I train in Colorado and I go over Rose's house all the time because to get in the cold tub and we compete. If she gets in there for 10 minutes, I'll get in there for 10 minutes and 10 seconds. And that's I love those guys and just talking with Pat and Rose, and the one thing they told us and told me and resonated in if I do everything right before the fight, I win. You know, so it's like it sounds hard, but it's easy. If you do everything right, you win.
For sure,
you
for
know,
sure.
and that's what I resonate with, and that's what I keep every day in my life when I wake up. If I do everything I'm supposed to and do everything right, I have no regrets and I win.
Yeah, man. Last weekend was a perfect example of that, right?
Yep. She did everything she was supposed to do before that fight to win, and she got in there and she won. Simple as that. So everything I'm supposed to do in training and preparation, I've done. So now when I get in that fight, I'm just gonna have fun.
Now, with you, you could have probably signed with any organization around the world, man. Why did you end up deciding on the PFL?
The format of the PFL is just brilliant, and I love it. The season format it just resonated me in like football. So the transition from football to this was perfect because it's like playing in the NFL. Now I'm playing in the PFL. The Professional Fighters League. So it just made sense to me, and it was just perfect cap to my career and everything that I've been working for. And from a little kid, I was working to make it to the NFL. And when that dream didn't come to fruition, the PFL gave me a spot. So now I'm a professional fighter in the Professional Fighters League, and it just kind of secures my legacy and who I want to be as a professional. And I'm just very excited now to compete on the national stage.
Do you feel more like a martial artist slash athlete? You know what I mean? A lot of times people are just
I'm always yeah, I know what you're saying, and I'm gonna always be an athlete. I'm gonna always be a football player, athlete. That's who I am. That's my makeup. Martial arts is something I just had to learn along the way, and and constant learn. I'm never gonna stop learning martial arts. That's so beautiful about martial arts. It's an everlasting learning experience. Every day I'm learning something new, new position, new movement, new steps. New little ways to cheat yourself to be in position to land what you want to land. So martial arts is an everlasting battle of learning. And like to quote Bruce Lee, martial arts is just learning. It's constant. It's life. It's being able to evolve and learn and just continue to grow as a martial artist every day of my life.
For sure, man. And you carry the Usman name. You're touted as this next big talent at heavyweight. This all comes with pressures, man. How do you handle this? Do you have the mentors behind you?
I have great mentors. I have great coaches. I have a great coaching staff that I've built around myself, and that's one thing that I had to get better at. And earlier in my career, you just take training here and there. But now that it's gotten more serious, I went and secured myself in a place where I can completely spiritually, mentally focus, which is Denver, Colorado, and been training with Elevate Fight Team, and Coach Cody and Coach Vinny, those guys, and training with Curtis Blaze, Alistair Overeem, these guys, just the discussions, the conversations, the positions, it's just made my game go up tremendously. Because it's not about being athletic or strong or anything. It's about competing against the top guys if you want to be a top guy. Getting those rounds in with these guys, being in the cage with them, because anxiety, a lot of things happen when you fight somebody that you be like, oh, this is the guy that you see on TV, now you're fighting. But I feel like I've overcame all of that. And I'm just ready to just get in there and just be the best version of myself.
Soaking up game, man. That's what it is, right?
Yes, that's all I've been doing now for the last couple weeks, man, months. And I completely moved to Colorado, and I just fell in love with the training out there. It's just the high altitude, just everything. I just put myself against the wall, and I'm gonna reap my rewards.
In football, like I played a little football growing up, and when you hit somebody, you get that adrenaline. Compare it to like hitting somebody in the cage adrenaline.
There's no comparison. Trust me, football is it's you get pumped, you're hyped, but that cage, there's nothing like it, man. Trust me. You take a football player right now and put him in the cage and he'll hop out. There's nothing like fighting. That when you locked in that cage, it's like a fear. It's almost fear. It's almost like you're overcoming your fears. When you're locked in that cage and there's no getting out, you have to get through this guy to come out of that cage. It's there's nothing like it, and it's a rush like no other.
So you mentioned Colorado. You're there. You're training. You do your camp. You go into the PFL bubble, and now you're gonna face off against Brandon Sales. What do you think about the matchup and what he brings to the table?
I mean, he's gonna bring the best version of himself. At the end of the day, that's what it is. Everybody's chasing a goal, chasing that money, and he's gonna be the best version of himself. So I don't expect nothing but the best Brandon Salas. But I'm gonna come the best Muhammad. I'm gonna put this guy away.
When you look at the division, right? When you head into this season, are you studying every single fighter, or are you just, are you taking the attitude of like, okay, this is my opponent, and I'm just gonna focus on him, and then whoever comes next, I'll focus on them?
Yep. At the end of the day, it's 4 fights to $1 million this year. So I don't let my mind get clouded with too many thoughts. All I'm focused on is Brandon Salas. I get through Brandon Salas, I have 3 more fights to $1 million. So and then whoever else they put in front of me, I just all I know is I have a date for my next fight for every fight. So whoever else they put in front of me after this guy is who I'm going to focus on. But right now, there's no other focus in my mind but Brandon Salas.
You're still young in your career. What will you prove to yourself in this fight by defeating him?
That I'm just continuously growing in my MMA career. Only thing I'm proving to myself is I put forth the effort, I put forth the work, I put the time into this, and now I'm gonna go out there and just execute. Be able to execute my game plan, listen to my coaches, and finish this guy, and then go on.
So what do you see? How do you see the finish coming?
I see the finish coming in the first round. I see the finish coming with my hands. If I pressure him against the cage, take him down, ground and pound him out. I just see the finish coming in just so many different ways. I see me finishing him standing up. I see me finishing him on the ground with just severe ground and pound. It's just so many different ways that I can finish this guy. So I'm just excited to get in there.
Now, earlier this year, you're in the corner of your brother when he defeated Gilbert Burns at UFC 261. I thought that fight was probably his toughest test because of, the story, the background. They've been knowing each other for so long. And then last weekend, your brother defended the title once again against Jorge Masvidal. Your father was there, man. How big of a moment was that for your family?
It was a huge moment for my family. It's almost that moment cemented my brother's legacy in just combat sports, as one of the best ever to do it, if not the best, to do it. And so I'm just really proud of him and everything he's accomplished and done. And I'm just excited to just get in there and continue my family name and just keep going.
With Kamaru, what is it? You know what I mean? Because he's had his best performances as the champion. You rarely see that. You know what I mean? You kind of see champions plateau and then they're performing to kind of maintain the status. But man, your brother, man, he's insane. It's crazy to watch him.
Yeah, it's the mind. It's constantly being it's like you constantly want to improve yourself. You want to get better. That's why the sport of martial arts, that's why I feel like our mind is just so different, because we constantly want to get better. We constantly want to improve. We don't want to get complacent. When you get complacent, that's when people can come beat you. People can come take your crown. He don't want nobody to take that crown. So he works twice as hard as everybody else. He stays in the gym better, more than everybody. And I feed off of that. So that's why I train hard. That's why I go twice as hard. If he goes an hour, I'll go 2 hours. I wanna accomplish my goals and my dreams as well, and I'm not gonna stop until I do.
What were the sparring sessions like when you guys were growing up?
There wasn't any sparring sessions. They would just gang up on me. Him and my older brother Cash would just gang up on me. There wasn't no sparring sessions.
Right.
Plus, your elders, so it's like I had to respect them.
Yeah.
But as I got older, they'll tell you they stopped picking on me. It was more cussing me out and name calling than trying to fight me, because I just got too big to where it was like, let's not fight this guy no more.
Yeah, definitely. It's
We're
a
gonna hurt him
natural
with our
progression.
words.
Yeah, natural progression,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Naturally, we're gonna hurt him with our words and not fight this guy because he's
For
too
sure.
big.
For sure. Now,
Yeah. So
one last thing, man. This 35-minute sparring session with Francis Ngannou. When will we get to see this film? When will the tape be released, man? Can you give us anything?
I don't. The 30. I feel like the public is taking that. It was during my brother's fight, and basically all it was, we were grappling. We were grappling. Then we went down to the ground and we were doing jiu-jitsu. So basically, it was like he's trying to get up. I'm trying to keep him down. I'm trying to get up. He's trying to keep me down. And Will Harris has the video, and he'll release it whenever he wants to. But that right there, I was 2-0 at the time. And Francis was coming off some knockout. You know how he's knocking guys out left and right. So that one of those little moments like that in my career are what gives me the confidence now when I step in the cage against anybody. Because I was 2-0 at that time, didn't really know what I was doing, and all of a sudden I'm grappling with Francis. I'm like, holy crap, what am I doing? And then after that, everybody's like, man, you held your own. So it's like I knew I can do this. Little moments like that help me build myself up to where I am now, when I'm just ready to get in the cage and just dismantle this guy.
For sure, man. May 6th, you make your PFL debut. You embark on that
Yes, sir.
$1 million journey. I'm hyped to see
Yes,
it.
sir.
Thank you so much for the time,
Yes,
man.
sir.
All the best to you.
Thank you so much, man, and we can do this anytime.